All right, picture this. I land, I'm feeling that travel weary chic, First impressions? Intriguing. It had that just stepped into someone else's life aroma. Okay, so picture this. I land in this super famous, super charming city in Spain. The one with all the oranges and flamenco in the dead of winter. January, folks, and I'm all, yay, winter sun, Scots slightly. Anyway, I booked this one bedroom in the center, which sounded amazing, right? Like central, historic courtyard house, restored for modern comfort. I'm thinking bougie, cozy, all the good vibes. Slight pause, sound of a thoughtful hmm. Getting there was an adventure. My alley finding skills were truly tested, and when I finally found the place, nestled down this super narrow, ancient alleyway, sound of a gentle sniff, like smelling something not great. Let's just say the first impression was authentic, like really authentic. Think old world charm meets, well, you'll see. So I finally get inside this singular one bedroom apartment belonging to a civilian courtyard house from the 18th century. Sounds fancy, right? And it was super cute with these terracotta floors and wooden beams and high ceilings. I'm all, oh, look at me, living in history. Sound of a little giggle. But then the natural light situation hit me, or should I say, the lack thereof. Sound of a dramatic sigh. The pictures online, they must have used like floodlights and a sun simulator. This place was darker than my sense of humor before coffee. I swear I had to have the lights on all the time. Like even at midday, it felt like twilight. My phone actually started asking me if I was okay. Sound of a tired chuckle. So, if you're a sun worshiper, consider yourself warned. All right, let's talk amenities. The kitchen was pretty decent. It had all the main stuff: oven, dishwasher, even a washing machine with a dryer. Sound of a triumphant woohoo, which, let me tell you, was a lifesaver because when you're traveling for 2 weeks, you need clean socks, people. But here's the kicker, and this is where it gets a little icky. Sound of a slight shiver. There were these tiny, unwelcome roommates. And by roommates, I mean little, crawly ants. Sound of a disgusted everywhere, especially around the kitchen. I'm talking ant armies on the counter while I'm trying to make toast. The host did give me spray, which was nice, but like, do I look like an exterminator? Sound of a playful grumble. So, yeah, laundry? Good. Snack time? A little less so. Now, let's move to the bedroom. This, I will say, was a triumph. Sound of a happy sigh. The bed was super comfy, like I might never leave this bed comfy. And they had blackout shutters, which combined with the thick walls and central AC heating made it a true sleep sanctuary. I actually had some of my highest sleep scores ever here. Sound of a proud so points for that. However, those thick walls that provided thermal insulation, not so much for acoustic insulation. Sound of a light. Shh. I could hear the neighbors, not like full blown conversations, but definitely movement. Like, were they tap dancing up there? Who knows? But it was definitely a gentle reminder that I wasn't alone in this old courtyard house. Okay, bathroom time. Good news: hair dryer, hot water, and excellent water pressure in the shower. Sound of a satisfied yes. Honestly, after a long day of exploring, a good shower is everything. But, and this is a classic travel dilemma, folks, the toilet paper situation. Sound of a slightly exasperated huff. For 2 weeks, they gave us like a starter pack. I'm not running a marathon, but I'm also not a bunny. I had to go on a toilet paper hunt mid-stay. Sound of a comedic darn it. Like, come on, throw a sister a roll or two. It's the little things, the things that make you feel like you're not living on the edge of a teepee precipice. All right, let's talk location. The listing said centrally located and walk to the old town. And honestly, it was. Sound of a genuine nod. 20 minutes to the city center, surrounded by tons of restaurants, cafes, and shops. That part was fantastic. I walked everywhere. My step count was off the charts. But, and this is another one of those authentic moments, the super small ancient alleyway where the apartment was located. It had a little aroma, sound of a wrinkled nose, like canine contributions everywhere, especially on rainy days. Sound of a disgusted blech. So I'm dodging doggy doo-doo while admiring historic architecture. It's a vibe for sure, just not always a pleasant one for my shoes. So remember how I mentioned it was a ground floor apartment and in an old courtyard house? Well, that meant windows that faced the street and the courtyard. And while those thick walls were great for sound, sometimes, privacy was a slight issue. Sound of a hesitant, I definitely felt like people passing by could easily peek in, especially from the street side. I kept thinking, do I need to put on a show for the pedestrians? Sound of a playful, oh la la. A few more curtains or some sort of window film would have been a game changer. I mean, I love to share, but not my indoor loungewear choices with strangers. Okay, let's address the elephant in the room. January, winter, Spain. I went thinking, oh, it's Spain, it'll be sunny all the time. Sound of a bitter laugh. Wrong, so wrong. I got almost 2 weeks of rain in a city that's supposedly sunny 365 days a year. Sound of a dramatic groan. My umbrellas got a serious workout. And when it rained, that dog poop situation just became infinitely worse. I was basically sloshing through history and other things. So if you're planning a winter trip, maybe check the forecast or just bring a really, really good pair of rain boots and maybe a hazmat suit for the alley. Despite my little gripes, I do have to give props where props are due. The host communication was excellent. Sound of a thumbs up gesture. Seriously, they were super responsive. Always someone there to answer my questions. And they even gave me some great recommendations for local restaurants. Sound of a satisfied yum. Also, the apartment itself had a lot of thoughtful touches, like a drying rack for clothes, an iron, all the basics you'd need. It's just those tiny specific things that after 2 weeks start to chafe. Sound of a frustrated grr, like the ants, and the toilet paper and the dog poop alley. So the grand finale, would I stay here again? Sound of a long drawn out followed by a definitive no. Probably not, my friends, not a chance. Don't get me wrong, it was charming and definitely unique. But for a 2-week stay, those little annoyances just kind of compounded. The lack of light, the privacy issues, and yes, the ant situation and the alley ambiance just tipped the scales for me. It's a solid 3.5 out of 5 from your honest, slightly traumatized travel buddy. Sound of a playful wink. So there you have it, my unfiltered, slightly unhinged review. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go bleach my shoes and maybe my brain. Like this video if you love a good travel tale, share your craziest travel surprises in the comments, and subscribe to Runaway with Kristin for more.